Hello, 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 hello. We're on the downhill stretch to the finish. Only the big guns are still in the running for the high placements. What tricks and trouts will they slap us with on this shotgun button map? We have fantastic secrets to go through. We've got an incredibly tricky map. A lot of cool stuff got done. It's going to be really interesting. We're going to have to break it down. But here we go. Into the Kota All Secrets run. It's that one. And ooh, there's the seek demo. I forgot I added. Oh no. Game. There we go. Professional streamer. Let's just get straight into it. So as you can see, you shoot the shotgun buttons to go up. Of course, Kota taking slower to get around the back and take that first one. Running through this, I'm not sure what the rules of these things are. It was tricky last time because there was no teleporter into it last week, so you had to sort of do something. But I think that run straight through it, it's a perfectly valid one. Coming up and round this way, and we do skip one, but I don't think we skip this one. This is number 2. So a little bit of a tricky one. You got to get down, get onto that ledge, through that hole. All the rest of them teleport you. Once you get across to that ledge, you then come over to here, where you have to do quite a tricky, the spacing's not easy. Spacing is for sure not easy. But if you thought this was the hardest one, you're in for a shock in a minute. Because there is a hardcore parkour map that has now been uploaded as a separate thing. So definitely go and check that out if you want to. But Kota whipping it round the back. Nicely up and over. I really like the pictures for the boost thingies. They're really cool. Down, does a double boost. We'll be seeing more of that later. Some people are going to be like, oh no. And just under the bridge. He gets in there well. Gets in there very well. But then here's the tricky part. This is the HP map. You got to get all the way around, carry your speed and get up. Which, as you can see, Kota doesn't quite manage to do. Really tricky. You've got to strafe W turning. It's very interesting. That might have been why I wasn't able to do it. I was AD turning and losing speed. So, potentially, Kota just W turning there. Drops it somehow. And there we go. Gets the step up. Run it to the back here. Risky checkpoint here. Yeah. No, not going to make it. Got to get back. Don't want to drop in and have to do that first bit again. Fair enough. But does make it the second time. Very nicely done. Up and over. Nice little flick. Makes that look easy because that kind of flick is not the easiest thing in the world. Get a good amount of speed. Absolutely confirm that you'll make it. There's a button there. Make sure you land on there. Hit it. I'm pretty sure that'll be a very cool trick when that's done. Eventually for the map that's on HP. To do that all in one run. But then you come out at an earlier teleporter from where you went in, which is why Kota took 1, 2, 4. Oh, now we head back to 3. The other reason for it is that we've just picked up all the weapons in the game. And picking up all the weapons in the game makes it a lot easier to get up and take this just here. Unfortunately. But there we are. There's all of the checkpoints taken in one run. Okay, it's all the main weapons in the game. You get the tuba, that's all you need. Have you ever needed anything more than the tuba? It's actually more weapons than that, because there's a bunch of weapons that Cool put in as their Quake 3 and their Xonotic counterparts. So yeah. Here we go into your top 20, but slightly more this week. because we have a lot more outside the top 20 continental champions. Starting off with your African continental champion, Tomato. From my head, Tomato. This, this should be a good way to take a look at the map in a little bit more detail. Tomato definitely improving since last week's run. But yeah, you get the down ramp there, gives you a good amount of speed. Not coming out too badly from there, actually. Probably 200 speed less than a lower top 20 speed is going to be. I'm kind of just adding a little bit to mine. Robots. Viewers for this game are always a bit weird because I'm pretty sure... Okay, that's very interesting. That actually works really well. Going straight up there and just not taking the slick. You don't carry it, so there's no need to. Interesting taking the stairs there. It's kind of out your way, but if it gets you the right spacing, that's good. And not shooting the top button, that's a massive time loss. Like, not even going for it. That would be the first thing. It saves about half a second, I reckon. Even more, really. Maybe 0.8. But a decent run to get us through the map. There's the general overview. And it's always good to see someone coming up and improving week on week. Dez is up next. In 35th overall with a 48-17. I'm sure Dez isn't happy with this run, but I'm sure it'll be fine. No, there's no need to start shooting yet, Dez. Here we go, drop down, get the button, very nicely done. Good flick. It'll be interesting to see where people go, left or right. There's definitely a faster option, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure which one it is. Goes for the lower route. There is an upper route if you shoot the button behind you. I'm sure we'll see some incredible tricks. And this map, I know this map's got broken, but I don't know how it's got broken currently. Like, I know things like we saw in the Kota run, shooting that button twice right at the end to give you a bit more of a boost down and stuff like that. But I don't know properly where it's been broken, because shooting the button twice is not breaking something. Next up, we have a new Oceania champion. It is not Kante. It is, in fact, Paul this week. Slight role reversal. I don't think Kante was too far off. But here we go. Yeah, players come in and break Cool's maps, and then Cool goes and cries himself to sleep. It's very sad. It's very sad. For just $1/+++ a month, you two can sponsor a poor DeFrag mapper. And they will be able to feed their family and pay rent in exposure and rating. But you do have to do it once the maps go live on the servers, because they don't carry over the ratings from these servers. Okay, so on the wider side, fair enough. It's the more flowy side. It does make sense, but it could be tighter. So we'll see how it goes. It could be something that inside is good up to a point. Now, there was an interesting one from Paul. Right at the end of the week, he said, "Oh, that's the stat. Oh, that's the strat. Oh, that's the route." About half an hour before the end. And then rage quit. Now, read into that what you will, because it's not unknown for Paul to do that and just be trolling. It's a good time anyway, 28th place. Respectable time. I think one of his best in this tournament, at the very least. Rolling on to the Turkish Delight, your Asian champion, Woodjiza. 47-14, 22nd place. Just outside of the top 20. A little bit of a weaker run from Woodjiza. We normally see them in the top 20. But this map's been a bit This map's been a bit weird because of some of the tricks. Some people knowing them, some people not knowing them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, I honestly don't know. And nobody in the top 20 looks like they've just found a trick and that's what put them in the top 20. Everyone's top 20 quality. It's more the people that aren't in the top 20. And some of those potentially didn't grind as much, either for real life reasons, you know, we don't get paid to do this, or for not enjoying this style of mapping. Nearly 2,000 coming out of there with only one button hit, so you want to keep the speed going forwards without hitting the wall. You'll get 1,500 about when you hit the floor after hitting the wall at the front. So you really got to get as much speed carried to gain that extra 500 speed and come out with 2,000. Shooting the button twice, that's where you go up and up. Plaza continues to prove me correct that he's massively improved his skill over the year. Posts a 20th place time with a 46.7. We're now fully into the top 20, and I must shout out MFZ, playing for 3 weeks, 21st place. Can they step up and get in the top 20? Or just move to South America? Or Asia? Or any other continent but Europe and North America? Ooh, late button press. Very nice flick. Woodges is a pretty good pew pew player. So the flicks, not going to phase them. I did wonder how many people... Hands up if you had to turn a crosshair on this week, DeFraggers. Because I do know a few DeFraggers who play without a crosshair. I play without a crosshair, but I move the arrow on the strafe hood is my crosshair. Nice double shot, comes out slower than Woodjizzer does. This is Plaza. Plaza's also good at shooting. I am way too tired from going on a big bike ride today and watching a bike race. It was fantastic. Go watch your local bike racing. It's like DeFrag, but people fall off the bikes sometimes. So if you like that, good. If you don't like that, you usually don't see them crash. And they're pretty much always okay. Nilo picked up the game 2 weeks ago or something, and already in the top 20. A 4.666. I don't know if that says something, but let's take a look. 19th place. Always interesting to see new players. Does anyone have the deets? Ooh, nice trick. Warsaw friend. Nice. Okay. Warsaw player. I was going to say, what's the deets? Because if it's Warsaw or Quake 3 or something like that, I'm fine with that. It's when someone comes over from B-Hop or Surf. That's when, you know, we've got to get a bit territorial. Can't be having them B-Hoppers and Surfers coming over and dominating us. Nicely done, keeping very fast speed through there. Adjusting the spacing. This is definitely something that happens. You've got to play the map more and more and more to be able to have knowledge of the final spacing. I was finding at the end I didn't play too much this week. I was getting fast runs towards the end, but couldn't figure out the spacing. So you'll be able to tell who's just confident in the end and who's not confident. It will depend on whether they've ever seen that spacing before. But always something to think about. Just having more attempts at the end is always good. Always, always good. Next up, Silney, back in the top 20, 46.57. A nice time. I've just realised I don't have the round overview up. There we go. That's better. I didn't have the times differences up on a spreadsheet. Nice flick, going really wide. 2 hits on the down ramp, very nicely done. Flinging it straight over the top. 1800 around that corner is very cool. We haven't seen the head hitter trick that Nilo did, but I'm sure we'll see it soon. I'm sure we will see that trick Very soon. Nicely done. Keeps 1900, loses it down to 1800. This, it was incredible how much, like, look at that checkpoint 6 to checkpoint 7, and then even more. That end, massive. You just had to get a good run to the end for some people. Of course, that then changes when you get a good run to the end and have an excellent end. You then need to get an excellent run to the end and have an excellent end. Unfortunately, as soon as you do something, it's impossible to stop doing it. Christy Donk, not been playing for too long. Came in the 2025, or properly came in the 2025 XUWC, but been playing very well. Got some top 20s. 46.5 is a nice time to be setting. Let's see what route we're going to get, because we've had some slight route variation, but that's more just the faster you go, the later you need to hit the buttons, and different timing and different angles that you're going to go through because of when you're going to be shooting stuff. But yeah, we see a lot. Something that new players kind of panic with, especially on a map like this. Look at the start, how every player just waits for their crosshair to go over the box and then shoots it. Like, even there, it was only a minor jump. Going low here. Interesting. It does mean you get to strafe for longer. If you're not confident with the 180 flick, it can be better. But yeah, that's how you should do it in Pew Pew as well. If you're dueling or CA or whatever, wait for the guy to come into your crosshair. Nice double hit. There we go. Gets a good amount of speed plus the double hit. The double hit just means you're going down faster, and then that down is converted on the 45-degree ramp into more speed. Very nicely done. That 0.07 improvement there is the 0.07 that Christy was faster than Silney. So a very important 0.07 PB right there. Next up, El Mangione. Dot capture. Get an 07 in chat for Silney, who lost by exactly that PB. 0.04 the improvement on this one. It's not a bad improvement. Again, a little chunk there. We're going to call it less than 1/10 of a second between each player. And that's a good chunk of less than 1/10 of a second from the 20th place. So everybody keeping it pretty tight despite the variations in routes. We do have the checkpoint stats, which we'll be able to look at more towards the end. I think every route on this map did get used by someone, which is nice. It's always nice that all the routes, even if some of the routes wouldn't have got used by anyone that we're going to see right now, all the routes got used by someone. Very nice last turn. Gets the button early. Pretty good. It's good. It's a big thing of hitting the two buttons that shoot you down, hitting them as early as possible, especially that one into the tunnel, into the chute, and then the ramp at the bottom. Because the earlier you shoot it, the better you can get for the second shot coming out. And that's really important, because you shoot it too late, you won't be able to get that. Next up, Furious. We are 0.26 faster, a big jump. Will we just see Furious knock it out the park, go really nice all the way through? Or are we going to see a specific improvement coming out here? Nice switch. Furious is an incredibly good duelist, so the flicks definitely won't phase him. Coming through very nice, straight over the top. We did see an early 1800 around that corner. I can't remember who it was, but that's an interesting one that we haven't seen that again. Sometimes it's tough knowing what's going to be different later on in the runs, and you don't even mention the 1800 or say that it's fancy or anything like that. And you don't know to look out for something else that got missed. Ooh, that was nice. It does seem to be that Furious just did that super early. There you go. I mean, that's probably 0.1 in there. but super early on the button press, and it does seem to be that Various just did a super clean run. Hit that button at the end super early, and very nicely done. Next up we have Ash, who again we have to thank for so many XDWC maps over the years. And onward we go. Nice shot, like I was saying, just waiting for the crosshair to come in, no panic. That's something that happens as you play more and more of a specific map. You end up strafing on autopilot, and you know how many bounces it is just in the back of your head. You know it's going to be boom, boom, turn. And the less you can think about the macro stuff, the more you can focus on the micro optimizations, which is why some of these runs look so similar, but they're actually not. Interesting Ash going for the, not the double hit shotgun on the drop down, just going for a super clean keeping speed. I think if anyone can manage to go diagonal, keep that much diagonal speed plus double hit, that's going to be where we see a big improvement. Whether we'll see a big improvement in time with that, I'm not sure, but we're definitely going to see a massive speed up if someone's able to do that. Probably 2300. I'm not sure just yet. But who we got next? We have Cute Bones, 0.13 improvement. The chunks coming big and fast right now. 14th place for Ash, 13th for Cute Bones. Let's see how we go. Interesting route to be going just super wide, just keeping the strafe on, not trying to take it any closer to the inside. 1800 round that corner, we're finally seeing it again. Nice strafe and going with the bottom line. I kind of panicked and saw that the top line was a thing and then never even went back to the bottom line. It was faster a couple of times, but hey, maybe the difference isn't that great. And strafing, the extra strafing is just something special. No double hitter. It's so interesting how much people were talking about this in the chat and comparing it now to the top 20. I think there's going to be some people. Quite often we go, how did I not see that? And you know, you see somebody do a route and you're like, oh, that's so simple. Why did I not see that? I think there's going to be some people this week going, why did I not optimize the easier route? Because I was getting 1 in 100 runs past this point, especially some of the end tricks, because a lot of the tricks come at the end. Could be something like that. Next up, we have a big improvement going up to JH height in 12th place. 0.35 improvement. And a yawn. Signature, of course. Let's roll. Nice start, keep it tight. You'll notice that everybody's just missing the edge there. You had to get that because otherwise you wouldn't get the down ramp. Down ramp's worth 150, maybe 200. Double down ramp here is very nice. I wonder when that's going to stop. Or whether it won't stop because people will be able to -1J the previous section. Coming through here. Not much faster than anyone else, so I'm wondering where this comes in. Super nice and tight. I think it's going to be through here. JH was very much hamming up early hits. Gets an early hit, and a good amount of speed, but not a double hitter. Super nice through this end, though. Very, very clean, and that's super early. JH was very much trying to push me while I was streaming to shoot the buttons earlier and earlier and not worry about, like, smashing anything in. We've got a call for a slow-mo. What do we need? The side strafe? Where was it? I missed it. What checkpoint? What bit? Nicely up here. Is it this bit? Oh yeah, back and to the left. Very nicely done. I mean, it gained some speed. Was it 0.3? I doubt it. Was it potentially the 0.5? 0.05 at the end? Yeah, it might be. But this end, like 2000 through here, strafing through. Uchi was saying that it was too hard to strafe at one point. But super nice. You can even see the step up right at the end there. And an early button press there. All comes together. Big improvement. Nice one. Speaking of Uchi, didn't actually know that he was next up. 45-34, that is a 0.32 improvement. The improvements are coming thick and fast right now. Big gaps coming through. Let's see what Uchi can pull off. Early shot. Okay, so that early shot, and then you hit your head on the roof, means that you get a more, you drop down from higher and you get more speed from the ramp landing. Just trying to figure out how to say that. Like I've known about that trick for 24 hours and I haven't been able to explain it properly in my own head. I hope you all know that I do half of these without knowing what I'm seeing. I do most of the discussions while I'm playing. Double hitter gets 2100 out of it. A little bit on the loose side, but still does it. And then not great through there, but it's good. And then drop down. Very, very nice. Kyle is up next. Getting a top 10. I think Kyle's first top 10 in a tournament. Very nicely done. A top 10 out of 10 player, I have to say. 45.12, which is a 0.22 improvement. So not bad for Kyle. For an improvement up here. 127 players, if anyone was wondering. By the way. Nice turn. Early shot. Kyle's who I tried to steal that off, but couldn't work it out. It was in the last hour that I saw it, so I wasn't able to pull it off. Saves a decent chunk, because you're going to be guaranteeing yourself to come around here. Hey, there are. With just more speed, and then Kyle's coming around here with like 100 more speed than we've seen from Uchi and JH. And that carries a long way. More speed on the slick doesn't matter so much because you're not going to carry it. But more speed out of there, 2100 out of there. Very late on the button. Gets good inside and a nice turn on the finish. Reasonable button hit. That it did seem to be going a little bit late. If it was anyone but one of the top duelists, that flick saved him. Almost certainly. That flick, you know, where he was looking, he was not aiming, predicting. Of course, it's DeFrag, so you can just flick up. But yeah, I was very worried that it was going to be a slow end there. Rolling it on, and we have a 45.00 from Vert. Actually thinking about it, Cutebones, oh yeah, so Cutebones got 46.01. Uchi is 1 point ahead, I believe, in the overall than Cutebones. Just to run that one back slightly. Here we go with Vert's run. Let's see, so Vert is a masterful shotgun slapper in this game. But what will happen when it's a shotgun shooter? How is Vert at shooting his load? I have considered trolling Vert and making a map where it gives you the shotgun but makes the right click slap impossible to use. Very nice. I think it is possible to slap one of these buttons and continue, surely. Ooh, nice! Full 360 rather than the 180 back. Vert must have a bigger mouse pad than me, because I don't think I would be able to do that. There's a lot of who's got the biggest mouse pad on this map. It's actually... didn't anyone have to do anything? Like move their keyboard around or something? That's happened before with a map that XUWC 2020 first one. There's a really long spiral at the start and a few people had to change their sensitivities because they just, or move their keyboards, or like try and find more mousepad space. I think someone stopped using a mousepad so they could just use the whole desk, just because they had to turn that much. But Vert has indeed put on a show for the ladies. Up next, it's 2. The game's favourite. He didn't do it! What has 2 done to piss off the game? Let's take a look at the bullshit performed. It is unexpected, because that was from the start of the map. Because if you don't start the map, it doesn't do it. Guaranteed. Okay, that was bullshit. I didn't even... like, I've got a 144 Hz monitor, I didn't even see that. I doubt you'd be able to see that flick at 30 FPS that I'm recording at. Very nice through here. Such smoothness on the slick. There's 2 types of slick. There's raggedy arse, and both of these could be fast. Raggedy arse and smooth. I'm raggedy arse and slow. What a run. I want to have a look back at that flick. It is a shame we're not getting the introduction to 2's runs. Maybe I need to get a button that does it. Just pull the sound effect from the games. Look at that flick. Did you ever play like dual modes and shooter modes in this sort of thing too? One there. Boop. Done. Pressing the keys as well, that's something to look at with these sections. Watch where people are pressing the keys. I completely forgot to mention it. How fast people flick and then getting back on the keys. Because if you get back on the keys while you're still facing backwards, you're going to lose speed. Warsaw Instagun modes. Oh yeah, that's a big flicking mode. People are flying around at a million, like faster than this. Flying around faster than DeFraggers because you just bounce off the walls and stay full speed. Very nice on the double button. 2's air awareness, I'm going to call it. Take a thing from parkour. 2's air awareness is great. Knowing the angle that they're going, like the direction they're actually traveling, and then pressing the correct keys for that. And not needing to... I get quite scrambled in those drop downs, and I know you can see a lot of people panicking after they leave the drop down because they aren't quite aware. And this is after tons of grinding. 2 very much picks that up, knows where they're facing. Very nice. 0.06 faster is your favourite defragger's favourite defragger, Knight. One day I will have everybody with a terrible nickname type intro thing. I will do it. If it's just because Rob Warner does it. Bad run, ignore, comes 7th. Classic. My run's bad because I only notice the bits that are bad on it. Everybody's going to this right hand... You fucking what, mate? Is the idea there that you get a really good down ramp? Because you just clipped not having the down ramp. But 1900 through there, that's fast. I assume you want to get on the down ramp with that. Because, yeah, that's... We'll see. Wait, you gain speed from hitting the... Oh, it's the ceiling ramp. Somebody mentioned that and I was like, oh, fuck. That's probably not going to actually happen. I didn't realise that was real. Oh, God. This is why the game now hates 2, because we've just cursed the game. Not many players in the 44 club. It is true. Just jump straight out of it. I only found it last day. Okay, we're going slow-mo and we're looking to the roof. You can see here, I can't do a mouse. Can I? Okay. You can see here, where the knight is, right? It's there. And this point here, so we're trying to hit this. We're not trying to hit this because this is a down ramp. We don't want to hit that. So it means we've got to shoot the button to hit it, then hit ourselves back out. Very interesting. So boom, button, hit the roof, then gets pushed down slightly, then have to hit the late to get across. Now, if you can make this, it's plus 100. That's makeable, isn't it? Just a little bit further, that is probably makeable. Plus 100 is very good though, but we're still not seeing 1800, so Did you do the head hitter at the start? The very first button head hitter? I can't remember, my memory's absolutely shot today. That might be, doing both of those might be the way to go faster. You found it but didn't do it that run. That's why you're only going at 1800 around that corner. Because after you did it, I was expecting you to be going faster than everyone else. But yeah, that other one's worth 100 as well. So very nice. That's also true. You have to do it while strafing. That's why we saw quite a lot of people down this end of the field in the 20 to 15, not doing the double button shot in the big open room, because you had to do it and get back to strafing as quick as possible. Rolling back a where is it? 0.25 improvement from source to just knock Knight off the top spot for the North American champion medal. 44.58. Let's see what source pulls off. Head hitter run, an extra 100 speed, goes around the back, does not do that trick with the head hitter up the late. Interesting. So is 100 speed down in theory here, but because of that start thing, it actually gains more speed, I think, by only about 15 to 20. That first trick does more than what Knight did. But there is possibly a chance for a better way, because Knight got quite a heavy hit on the front and a slowdown as well. Very nicely done there. Keeping speed. Ooh, that was late. Keeping speed and double hitter. Very nicely done. Super early on the button. Super duper clean. No notes. Onwards to Woe, who was quoted saying, in quite a lot of despair after certain parts at the end of the map and finding something out. I can't remember what it was, but still 0.62 ahead of Source, taking the bottom step of the podium in 5th place. I've officially decided we're having a 5-player podium because I like the idea of 5 players. Everyone hates every map until it's over. I loved this map. This is my favourite one because it's very cool and unique, and I like all of these broken bits, of course. It was frustrating at times. Missing button shots, very frustrating. Both tricks there, and a lot faster. Coming through here at 19, oh, that's such a good AD turn. Like, how do you even get around that? Now way faster, 2200, that's the fastest we've seen around here. Extra 100 speed, so not quite getting the full 200, because sometimes going faster means you can't get faster later on. Nicely done. You see the commitment to the landing. That means that Woe has been on this run multiple times before. Very, very clean run. There's always the intrigue with things like this, especially looking that I can see that the next run faster is a decent chunk faster than this. That's just super clean, super nice, does everything. Like, you'd have to really micro notice. So there's definitely something that Woe has missed though, because he was complaining that he'd missed something. Unless it was last week and I've completely frazzled it. I'm pretty sure Woe got told about something towards the end. Super nice though. It might have just been that head hitter that Knight did. So I don't think he did that, but he was incredibly fast out of the start. For not doing that, he had the speed that I would have said you should get doing both. Double button and speed 2200, commitment at the end, knows this finish, has definitely been here before on these kinds of speeds, these kinds of paces. Very, very nice. 4th place, Shinx. 0.22 faster. I know Shinx classically just does everything smoother than the previous run, even when there's a huge time improvement. Doesn't really mix with the formula too much. But Woe's run was so clean, so are we going to be able to see anything cleaner than that? Or are we going to need something else to go faster? Goblin checking out the checkpoints while the demo's loading and figuring out what Shinx is doing. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, of course Shinx doing that. I got told to call it the Shinx thing. He's doing the head hitter thing. We're definitely going to have to look at that in slow motion. Gets round and gets the predicted big ramp. 18 slower than Woe through there, I think. But going through that gap was incredible. We have seen slightly faster through here before. But it definitely, I mean, cutting that corner will actually just save you 0.1. Just for time, right? That flick. It's not even mentioning the flick. Yeah, never add visuals to maps. Just people. I'm surprised he didn't manage to get a surf off of it or some shit. Get extra speed off of it that way. We've still got 3 people left. There's enough time. Someone to surf it or jump it or whatever. I don't know. It looks just between the two whether you can stand right or not. So we've got to take a look at this start for one. We might as well slow-mo this because we're going to slow-mo everything. So boom, head hitter, drop. It means you're dropping further, which means you're able to get more speed, which is nice. Then we head hitter there. We head hitter a second time. Then late on the button, could have slapped that button. Comes through all the way here. Has to crouch. Drops it on here. 2 down ramps. Very nice. Up and over. I think does a double jump on there. I was doing that. I was getting the bounce pad and then hitting the double jump to get over the top. Coming around this corner, 1830 is pretty fast. I think Woe was faster. One shot. Very nice. And a pretty tasty flick. I don't think that was the flick that people were losing their minds over. Might have been... that one you just set up for and it's fine. I wanted to check out that one just because everybody's been doing it the same way. Just knowing when in the turn to hit that button is really crucial. Like if you're watching this and you're wondering how people do that, just play the map again and again and again and think about these things. And eventually it'll get to the point where you just do it automatically. But here we go into the drop down. We'll put it on full slow-mo. Boom to the top. Boom again. At the last possible frame, managing to get the boom. In slow motion, it doesn't look like so much of a flick, to be fair. That was very nicely done as well. Predicting, you know, just waiting for it to come in. It was super good. And the final shot, super early as well. Very, very nicely done on Shinx. You have to shoot the... Here we go. The flick to the right before aiming up. Speed brake. Because, yeah, speed... Overstrafing really hard, doing WA or AD, is stronger than just pushing S and putting the brake on. What else have we got? You have to shoot the drop button right after you hit the ramp. Ah. And then you hit the ramp twice. Ooh, tasty. And then, yeah, more space to keep as much as possible. Very nice on this. We're going to have to slow-mo it. There's just too much. This is what I mean by you've got to get the macro things just... Like, this is just autopilot. Look at the time Shinx is putting in. Look at the checkpoints. 0.06. Are you this consistent? You have to be the top players, you have to be this consistent every single time.
1 minute remains.
You've got to be able to pull this off. So that you can get here as many times as possible to be able to do the massive overturn break like that. To slow down faster. To be able to get 2 hits. So this drop down, now Shinx is going forwards, diagonally, doesn't hit the edge and then shoots at the last possible pixel. And boom. Ah, there's a mid-air trigger, gives you more drop speed, but the drop speed on that is fixed, so you have to hit the button after you've hit the drop down push. Incredible. Yeah, you've got to learn exactly how to do it. It's possible to practice and do it again and again. I was struggling with it because I was using S turn. You'd get more and more speed, and that's exactly what I was talking about with getting there the same every single time. If you want to get it in your muscle memory, how hard you've got to brake, you have to be able to backwards. Like, you've got to be able to get there at the same speed every time, because otherwise every time it's going to be different. Next up, Delta. This is 0.07 faster, so not a lot faster, but just a little. Let's see what Delta has to offer. Yeah, Warsow's AD turns are way harsher than... like, you can turn stronger with them, but that means you also lose more speed because they're more powerful. Very nice up through there. Round... Was that a surf? Did we get the fabled surf that I predicted 3 minutes ago? Because I thought it'd be cool. Super fast through here. Very nicely around. Keeping a lot of speed very, very fast. What are you doing, Delta? I mean... So it's -1 jump, but it's style points, but it's -1 jump. Yeah. I was like racking my brain for... I know he said why he did it, and I was like, I just can I do it? You think he missed? But he did get direct to slicks, so... Boom, boom, boom. Is there a surf here? Ducks. Does surf. Definitely does surf, but doesn't get any speed off of it. But you can see from where the strafe arrows go that the strafe bar changes slightly. Does get a surf on that. flinging it up and around this corner, one shot. The flick's incredible, by the way. Just look at this. Let go of all your buttons. Yeah, he completely whiffs. Oh. I wish I could rewind. Yeah. No, the spread gets ruined by spread. It is the thinnest of targets to hit because you can't hit the wood. It's not like you can just hit the wood. Yeah, a chance of random pellets hitting. It looked like he was going to whiff, but he just adjusts at the end. It's that micro final adjustment. So Delta, that's like a CS player thing. So Delta might have played CS before, like a fair bit. That's very much a thing of get in vaguely and then boop. Yeah, the idea is to land directly on Slick, but he didn't, so he must have missed. But I thought he was going to completely shoot early, but he didn't. I did find that you shoot the bullet spread seems to come out more to the right. So I was, yeah. Button resets your Z speed and gives you a tad bit less Z speed than the jump pad. It might just, no, I think it's additive because I was, like, I had times where I was shooting it while falling in the hole versus going up still from the jump. But yeah, it definitely didn't fire. In slow-mo, I probably have a better view of it than you guys do, but you can see the button move in slow-mo because buttons are doors. Old game problems. But yeah, the spacing didn't change, so I'm going to assume he missed it, which is unfortunate, really, because it means he lost out on strafe time. So that is a shame. Next up, though, in second place, we have Frosty. 0.09 faster than Delta. We take a swig because my throat hurts because I've been shouting at people on bikes all day. 43.58. Let's go. Gotta try and find out how I get that cushy announcement job at local bike races. Buttons are doors, yeah. What? Frosty? That was nice. But he doesn't do the first trick, which is 100 speed. So, actually not too far behind here, but could definitely be higher. Not going for that Delta trick. Clearly not needed. It is 100 speed faster. Like you do gain 100 speed off of it, but it seems to be that if you then do the next thing, yeah. People, at least when people were when we had the back and forths earlier, like what does he get coming out of here? So it should be 1,200. Yeah, 1,100. It was 1,200. Maybe it's not quite, but it was. You're definitely hitting 1,200. Then that was very nice. Yeah, that's true. It is difficult to compare them. Yeah, Woe definitely had the highest. Frosty's, I need to go back and watch Frosty's second trick thing, because he had that really nice. That backward shot, very tasty. Little flick there. Don't think he meant that, but gets it. And the very nice pre-setup for the button at the end. Remember, this is only 0.09 faster than Delta's run. So super tight up at the top in the top 3 here. So, yeah, drop down, boom, boom. 1. This bit is super nice. Gaining, gaining. Doesn't lose anything when it flattens out. Plus 250 for the second drop button. Which one? Oh, second drop button shot. What is Goblin doing? You've hinted a few things. Potentially it's that start thing. People finding it a day earlier that they'd be able to get a different spacing on it. So that would be interesting to see. Boom, very nice. Second drop button shot plus 250. Super clean fish. I really like that end. Next up, you all knew what was going to happen. I did have a vague script as I was cycling home about everyone chasing Goblin, but it didn't work out. I couldn't work out how to word it, but 4292, it's a nice round number. It's 0.66 faster than Frosty. Domination once again from Goblin. He needs to finish outside the top 20 to not win this thing overall. Can he go clean sweep yet again? Only time will tell. Map 5 currently being played. Check out the guide on my YouTube channel. Early button shot. See, 1,200 coming out rather than 1,100. Nice, a lot faster here. But that could just be down to Goblin being faster. Nicely done. This is incredibly fast. Does he do the shoot back button? No. Straight to slick is an interesting idea. 2300s, very nice. The extra speed is just incredible, and although there is a reset point on this map, Goblin got the fastest exit speed out of that reset point as well. So that didn't really help. But I don't know. The adjustment is that I don't have to flick for the third shot or change strafing direction. Always a genius. I always forget about these things. Changing strafing direction is a problem. Like, we don't really need to see this. It's fine. Boom. Take the first shot. Holding forwards. Holding shoot as well. So he knows he's going to be right on there. Takes the second shot. Gets on the strafe. And then he's running wide. He's running wide. He's running wide. Waits for the button to come in. And then shoots it. Yeah. Just letting the crosshair line up. You've got to have balls of steel to do that though. But that is indeed the extra speed that you're going to get. Plus the super nice... it's commitment, really. The whole thing is just committing to the route that you know will work. And you have to have absolute confidence in yourself to be able to do that. And you have to have the confidence that you can pull it off. And that's a hard thing to have. I do wonder if you can double shoot that first button. So you don't have to turn here. Getting back on the strafe straight away. Seen a couple of people towards the end being getting back on the AD strafes. Rather than just going for W until they get into the corner. W is safer because you can just kind of adjust your positioning and your aim and then turn around and then get back on. But going for AD tends to be a bit faster because you can kind of eke some out of it. Super nice. This button is so well placed. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, it will always be in your corner of turn. If you've got the speed to get over this jump, it will be somewhere in your corner of turn because you're turning earlier if you're going faster. So that's super nice. We'll just see what Goblin gets up to on the slick, because he's probably just going to naturally demolish everyone. Oh, I thought he was going to get 3,000. Rip point 1. Nice on there. There's your downward booster, and then shooting on the last pixel to get 2,300 out of that. Moving diagonally faster than most people as well. Plus 55 speed. Brings you around the corner. Getting faster and faster with the AD turns. What bit bonked? And boom. Straight down. Goblin slows down with a wall bonk. Oh, the bit where Shinx does the crate. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know. I know what you mean. I will slow-mo it and show it off. What Shinx did is absolutely crazy. Doing the overturns. Absolutely mad. Once again, people find a hole in the scenery and somehow find a way to get through it. Nice little step up to adjust the spacing as well. Super clean around the corner. Crouch during the drop down to get a better vision of the button. Interesting. Very interesting. Crouches on the next map. I think we're going to have some. So here, watch the instant speed loss. Hit, then hits the wall to drop down to 700, and then goes in here. So it is going to be slower. Coming round here. Because you're spending less time at high speed, but it's not going to be much slower, and like Goblin's already said, consistent. Look at that. There's that 220 that Farius has put in chat. You saw the double down ramp hit. Very, very nice. Yeah, more diagonal. Going more diagonally, if you can, it means you can keep more speed going into the bottom, which can also help you go faster. Super early end as well. Absolutely beautiful from all involved. Let's pull up the main screen. Tiny edge at the end, you tried to head bonk. That's even more incredible. Let's bring up the history of the map as it was. F11 and main screen. We have Goblin, Frosty, Delta, Woe, Source, Knight, there we go. Kyle. Oh, let's knock off Kyle, because that... Look at that improvement. 0.2 improvement out of Source on the final day. Very nicely done. Big improvement as well, because that puts him up 3 places? 4 places. Wow. Maybe in 5. Just about 5 places. Very, very cool there. You can see how, like, massive PBs, some of these don't even get tracked because they're just too fast between them, so they don't get marked on this leaderboard. But yeah. Goblin consistently jumping. Playing more consistently this. No massive gaps. Consistent improvements throughout the week. But did take the record that would not be beaten on about there. There we go. 18th. Nicely done though. Incredibly good runs from everybody. Thank you to everybody who played wherever you were. All these people, which I always forget to do. I'm dying. Everybody here. There we go. Thank you very much for playing. The distribution, who did we miss? We did note this one, I think. Not many in the 44 club. It doesn't even show Goblin's run because there's only one person in the 42 club. Only one person in the 54 club. and the 58. So what was most popular? 47 was the most popular time to have. Very, very nicely done. Let's take a look what that does to the overall scores then. If I bring up the spreadsheet here, into the overall, and zoom it in. We have Goblin, of course. Oh yeah, let's do the cheeky sum that minus that. No, don't do that. Not shift. Okay. We have Goblin in first place, 159 points ahead of Frosty. 31 between Frosty and Woe. That is very doable in the final round. 49 between Woe and Shinx. Pretty close. Right here we have an incredible one. 1 between Vert and Source. So all to play for. And 0 between Uchi and Cute Bones. Absolutely all to play for with those two. Still some pretty tight things down here. Amnesia and WHT. Black Wolf and Paul, only 5 points. 5e and Infinity. Infinity and Brain Fluid. Anything less than 10 is absolutely incredibly close. It's so cool to see how close everything is. I kind of thought it would get a bit closer because this is a Strafe tournament. But yeah, each map I hit number 4. Yeah, but you were the first one to get the sub minute, so there you go for next week. Next week is a fantastic map. It's a very difficult strafe map, lots of cool routing options. We'll see what happens. Join me again at this time next week. For that, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you next week with all the rest and the final recap and all of that. Thank you for playing, thank you for watching. See you next week.